Stuart Reed will be our next speaker today, and it's actually probably apropos that we start off with this, this particular story. And this story is about a fellow named Amos Northup. Amos, it turns out, was probably the first major designer to join a manufacturer, a true OEM. And that in contrast to doing custom bodies at the time, where he was working at Murray, he was quite accustomed to doing. But by the late 20s, it became apparent that there was something else that could be done to bring more customers to the manufactured automobile, if you would. And he believed that that was design. And it wasn't design just in the sense of, well, we're going to wrap this thing, we're going to put together the bits and pieces here, and we're going to make it look a little bit flashy. In fact, he enunciated a thinking process that was human-centered design, Michael. And human-centered design in the sense of, back in 1927, as he's joining the Willis Overland Company, what he stated at the time at a Society of Engineering, at an SAE conference, was to build the auto body around the passengers. Too often, the job is started in reverse manner by making it attractive with a design and then squeezing passengers into it. And then he went on further at the end of his comments to say, constantly to seek new novelties in design which will intrigue the motoring public. To style the body lines should lead logically to change year to year. Northup said, urging manufacturers to give chief designers rather than mechanical engineers the final control over the construction of the entire outer shell of cars. So, Mike, let's talk about human-centered design and talk about this kind of thinking that actually emerged, as we found, a little earlier than we might have imagined.
Oh, a lot earlier. For those of you who aren't so familiar with this term, human-centered design, it is much in circulation, let's say, in the design world, and it signals some people thinking that there is a radical shift that has taken place over the last couple of decades from being very much focused on product design, the artifact, the thing, the tech, to bringing in people, whether it's in terms of designing services, which incorporate people and things, yeah, or whether it's designing experiences. And we've heard already this morning a good deal, of course, absolutely appropriately, about how the driving experience is at the heart of mobility, automobility. But as Mark has just pointed out with this extraordinary story from the 1920s, it's always been there because the car has always been about people. But here we have a new kind of indication of a long-standing project, design project, where designers design as a project has been, should be, focused upon people, upon communities, and as again we've already heard, identities. Who you are is so much about how you get around. And it's about things like autonomy. It's things like how you experience mobility. It makes you who you are. And you choose certain kinds of ways of getting around to make yourself into somebody you want to be, somebody you hope to be. Human-centered design.